This program is brought to you by the Kentucky Small Business Development Center in Louisville. We provide the professional expertise, tools, and resources to help you succeed. To connect with a business coach, call 502-625-0123 or email sbdcinfo@uky.edu.
Welcome, everyone, to another Toolkit Tuesday. I'm glad you're here. I'm Dave Etkin. I'm the director of the Louisville Center of the Kentucky Small Business Development Center Network. We're one of 13 centers across the state of Kentucky. So happy to see you here today. Thanks for joining. If you would just to make sure everything's working well, that you can see us and that you can hear us good. Look down at the bottom of your screen there. If you pull your cursor down there, a toolbar will come up there. You'll find the chat feature. Just hit that. And if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and put in the chat your name and where in the universe that you're joining us from. It's always great to see where everybody's joining from. We get people from all over the world and the country. It's pretty cool. So there's Jenny. Hey, Jenny from Louisville, right here in our hometown. Joan, I just saw you yesterday and I owe you an email. Haven't forgotten. I'll get that to you today. So yeah, just say hello so we know where you are. Hey, Logan. Anisha. Yeah, we've got about 80 people joining us today. As we go through our session today, if you have any questions or comments for our presenter, just put those in the chat as well, and we'll get those answered. And also, as always, at the end of the day, you'll receive a replay of this and some of the materials and stuff. So, here at the Small Business Development Center, one of the main things we do is help people with business plans. And I guess, we've written and helped hundreds of people with their business plan. So I asked my great friend and colleague, Claire Bridges, to come on board and talk a little bit about writing a business plan. Claire is one of the business coaches on our team here in Louisville. She's a great resource, and I think you'll enjoy hearing from her today. So hello, how are you, Claire?
Good. Thanks for having me today, Dave.
Yeah. So let's just jump right on in, and why don't you share your screen? And while you're doing that, I'll just like to remind you guys to any questions or comments, put those in the chat, and we'll have kind of a back and forth as we go through the session today. So share on up there, Claire.
All right.
I will say, Claire is an expert planner. She has a ton of business experience with some of the businesses she's been in charge of, and I've been very impressed with how she is very strategic, and she's really great at planning. So this will be a good session. So Claire, take it away.
Great. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to our Toolkit Tuesday, Building a Business Plan. A little bit more about what we do at the Small Business Development Center. You'll see some of our coaches on the top right, and we all have experience running small businesses. So we are here to kind of meet you where you are and help you plan and move forward. Like Dave said, we build business plans, we help with financial projections, and then we kind of match you up with the best step forward for your business. And at the Louisville Small Business Development Center, kind of our saying is start, fund, and grow. We offer trainings such as this one. Another really great one to watch is Guide to Entrepreneurship. If you are just starting your business, we can help you register your business and create plans. We also, again, help you access funding and then grow. We can all talk to you about, specific pain points in your business, operational systems, things like that. So let's get started today with what is a business plan. It's a plan for your business. It's a sales tool, and it could be used for a variety of different things. I suggest you use it for a variety of different things. If you're in the startup phase, it's absolutely crucial. You can use it for internal planning, strategic growth. If you're still deciding, like, is this worth it? A business plan is going to help you decide that. You can use it for marketing and, adding different revenue streams later on. You should continue updating your business plan throughout the life of your business, because your business will change and evolve. And so you don't want to be stuck on the same page you were in the beginning. So keep working on it. And then why do you need a business plan? Planning is one of the most important parts of opening a business and is going to set you up for success. If you don't have a plan in place, you're either going to be playing catch up the entire time, or you're not going to have the opportunities to grow because you don't have structure around your business in the beginning. So, it's not for anyone else in particular. You can use it for other things, but it is specifically for you and your business and helping it maintain its health and structure and move forward and grow. There are different components. In a bit, we'll talk about a few different templates, but in most all of those templates, you're going to include these items. So you're defining the business. What are you doing? The opportunity is why are you doing it now? What's the need for it right now in the market? And how are you going to beat the competition? Why is this a good idea to do right now? Defining the product or service that you are offering. Why do customers want this right now? And then marketing, not only in an advertising sense, but how is it going to go into the market in a competitive sense? And then how do the folks that need this solution to a problem find you? Operations is, the back end, how your business will operate. And then also on the front end, how do you operate customer facing? So you need to include both of those in your plans. And then financials, which is a huge piece of what we do at the Small Business Development Center. You will need projections if you're a startup business, and then you're going to need data if you already are in business to show growth, show revenue, profit and loss. And we are here to help put those together for you, because it can be a beast to begin with. So a few of the most popular templates for a business plan. We've got the business model canvas, a one-page business plan, a pitch deck, and then a traditional business plan. And after this webinar today, we will send you some blank copies of all of these so that you are able to, take a look at them yourself, work through them with your own business. And I suggest doing all of them, because you're going to get a different message from all of them. And you're going to come to a different place with all of them, working through them. And it's going to just make you stronger all the way around. So a business model canvas is kind of like an exploration phase. If you're an entrepreneur, you know that you have a whole lot of ideas floating around in your head. You might have a new business idea every month or every week, or want to change something about your business or grow something about your business. So this is a really good tool to use in the very early ideas phase, and kind of work through all the logistical pieces of what you're doing with your business. It's a good way to process ideas and get organized. It is not the most helpful for, running systems and operationalizing things. So there's a place and time for this business plan template versus other ones that we'll talk about. Another very popular one is a one-page business plan. After you've kind of worked through all those big idea pieces in the business model canvas, you can kind of slim it down, put it down here, and really succinctly say what you're doing with your business. This will be helpful for then later on in other forms of business plans. It's really great for marketing, so that you are really practiced and experienced in what you're saying about your business when you're out in public, meeting other folks, networking. And it's also a really good tool if you have like a specific plan in mind for your business. If you're adding a stream of revenue and you're going to say, how am I getting here? The one-page business plan is great for that because you can kind of assess your growth there. You have a really streamlined plan. You've got milestones to achieve it. And then you've got all the, at the bottom, your team and partners that are going to help you get there. And then a pitch deck, also previously in the one-page business plan, it can kind of help guide and create your pitch deck for marketing. This is kind of like a high-level explanation of your business. It's short, it's to the point. It just shows what you do and the way in which you're doing it. It's a really great marketing tool. Last but very much not least is the traditional business plan. This is what we focus on a whole lot at the SBDC, and it is used when applying for bank funding. So the pieces that are included in this: executive summary, summary of business, marketing plan, management plan, financial plan, and critical assumptions. And we are going to go into detail on all of these pieces so that you feel really solid and secure in what you put together. So in the executive summary, it's in a sense a one-page business plan, kind of really concise, all the big topics of your business. This is going to be the first thing that a lender is going to look at. And so it needs to show a lot of information in a very small space. It can show a quick snapshot of financials, but often lenders will, take a look at the executive summary first and then flip back to the financials at the end to, quickly assess where you are, if your idea is viable, if your business is profitable, et cetera, et cetera. The next piece is the summary of your business, and this is going to, expand much, much further into the depth of your plans. And so all of those processes of the other business plan templates, like the one-page business plan, like the business model canvas, and your pitch deck are going to come in extremely handy when you're formulating the summary of your business. The statement of purpose, so you're going to define the problem that you're solving, and then the value proposition for your business. Is this a problem that people are willing to pay for? Then, like, who has the problem? Who are your customers or clients? Are you selling to individuals? Are you selling to companies? And how big is the problem? Like, how does it happen to your customers? You're going to have to be an expert at all of this to know the ins and outs of your business and why it will work. And then how big is the market? So how attractive is the opportunity? Like, if it's extremely niche and it's only going to serve a very small handful of people, then is it worth your time starting this business? Or is it a large problem that many, many folks will have? Define your problem and the solution. How is your product or solution solving the problem? Describe a clear product service description and its benefits. What are the tangible benefits of your product or service to customers, and quantify the benefits in a measurable way. We help you do this as well. Can you differentiate yourself between your competitors? Like why specifically is your business going to make a difference for what is already out there in the field? And is there a way for you to compete with what's already out there in the field? The marketing plan is for you to know who are your target customers. You can talk about trends and industry assumptions, and that is kind of assessing, like, is this industry growing or is it shrinking? Is it fragmented or is it consolidated? So is it run by a few really large companies, or is it more broken down across the board? And then as far as like buying decisions, like where are you selling to? Who is going to buy your product or service? If you've done like a strength and weakness analysis, a SWOT analysis, this is a good thing to include in your marketing plan, because it's only going to make your business stronger. And then your pricing strategy. Are they paying for a physical, tangible thing? Are they paying for a subscription to your services? Are they paying once, or are they paying monthly? That's going to really determine your profits. It's going to determine how you pay your employees, how you pay yourself, and how your business health is overall. And then promotional advertising plan is how to reach your customers and what's the cost to you. Is it a realistic cost to reach these customers for you? And you really need to have these plans in place so that your business is set up correctly. The management plan related work experience is huge. So when you go before a lender, they will look at and see what kind of experience you have in this field. Have you run another small business before? Was it a success? If you're opening a coffee shop, but you've only ever, been a plumber, then they're probably going to wonder, what in the world are you doing? Like, have you researched enough? Have you worked yourself in the field before you start this business? That's going to be a big make or break. In the management plan, you are going to want to know what personnel you'll need, the organizational structure. So who is the leader? Who are the employees reporting to? And then who makes the decisions within the company? And this also informs the salaries, because you will need organizational structure around your profits in order to know where you're paying your employees from. An advisory board would include like a CPA, an attorney, business coaches, or like other local business community members that are on a panel or a board that you check in with on a routine basis. That can help make decisions and being a sounding board for you. Then the next piece of things is the financial plan. So this is where we can come into play. There are a lot of pieces to this, and you make a lot of decisions based around your financials in your business. So we're going to look through each of these in more detail. I will quickly run through them, and then we'll go back and look at them much closer up. So we've got the sources and uses of funds. And we've got, this software that we're showing you here is how we use to make your financial projections and get you set up to go before a lender. This is a revenue forecast, a profit and loss projection, cash flow projection, a balance sheet, your break-even analysis, which is crucial, and then critical assumptions. So I'm actually going to go back now and we'll talk through each of these. I want to be able to zoom in a little bit more so you can see the numbers in here. So if we do this, and Dave, maybe you can tell me if this is helpful in a minute. Can you see this page now? Okay, so this is our sources and uses. This, if you're applying for funding, this is going to show where the money's coming from, whether that's from you. You will likely need to put in money, have some skin in the game for a bank to have faith in you as well, to invest in you. So are you putting in a cash injection? Where are you getting the money from in a traditional lending sense? And then down here at the bottom, what are you going to be using it for? And you need to be able to show line by line breakdown of where the money is going to.
So Claire, it's just a little fuzzy. So can you zoom in a little bit more at the top and then just kind of like scroll down?
Does that work?
Try and bring it in, bring the box in a little tighter,
Is that better?
a little bit more, a little bit more.
We want to make sure y'all can.
Right. See some detail. Oops.
So on this one, you know, this particular person is going to invest $1,000 of their own personal money. They were applying for a $10,000 loan. So total sources of funds is $11,000, and then broken down here, $1,400 for equipment and machinery, $2,500 for furniture and fixtures, and then the total of those assets. And down here, $1,000 for inventory, working capital, $3,000, and marketing materials, $3,000. And so then it comes down to $11,000. So you need to be able to explain what you're going to show or what you're using this money for. The bank will not lend you large amounts of money with no plans.
Claire, talk a little bit about working capital and what that's for and why it's important.
Working capital is kind of you having money easily accessible for your business to run for the next, the first 3 months of your business. So whether that's paying employees or using it for utilities, or you can use it for inventory, or if you need to sign up for a POS processor, some other item like that, one-off item, then that's what you can use working capital for. You have to have money to be able to make money. So, and I will adjust our screen here one moment. All right, tell me if this is clear. If we need to go smaller, we can go just 1 year if you want to look at that.
I think that's okay.
Okay. When you submit a formal traditional business plan to a lender, they will ask for about 3 years of projections in revenue. And so here we're showing year 1, year 2, year 3, and then it's broken up by your streams of revenue. So in this case, it's a clothing store. One stream is ready to wear items, and the other is custom made items. So they sell about 80% in the ready to wear and 15% in the custom made items. And so then this is going to project how much you're going to make through the year, month by month with your items. And so it's a hard data way to show the trends of your business. It's going to show how it increases from year 1 to year 2. You can see their final revenue for year 1 was $76,000. You go down to year 2, it's $117,000, and then year 3 is $142,000. So you're going to want to show that steady, easy growth of your business over time. And then we take into account as well, like a startup curve where things are a little unpredictable in the beginning. Maybe you're gaining traction with your market, you grow. And so this is what this line is showing, you're just doing 25% of sales in the first month. If you're getting over here, you're making over 70% of your sales later on. Same with seasonality. Many businesses have a specific seasonality to the business and to sales. So like restaurants, folks go out more in the spring, summer, fall than they do in the winter. And even within those times, there's seasonality. And so we also track those trends. And those are some things that you may not know if you don't have a brand new business, or if you don't have a business in functioning yet, then we're going to help you find the seasonality of your business and kind of analyze data and trends in your market to help you figure out those key items. Let me fix this. All right, I can go smaller if we need. Is that good?
Yeah, that looks good.
Great. So profit and loss projections show, the overall profit that you make or the overall revenue that you make, and then minus the expenses that you incur. And then at the end, we will see the overall profit that you've made or loss that you've made. Obviously, we all want to see a profit. So if you're looking at this spreadsheet, your revenue is listed first, and then cost of goods sold. So that is the cost of anything that you need to spend to make a sale. So if you are selling clothes, for example, because this is for a clothing store, you have to buy the materials either to make the clothes or just the clothes themselves to sell. So that cost is going to be your cost of goods sold. It goes up when you make more sales, and it goes down when you make less sales. So it is a variable cost. So you can see those are connected to each other in this cost of goods sold line. And then your regular expenses, things like rent, utilities, insurance, these are all fixed costs that you have to pay every month. You have to have, a space to sell. If you're at a boutique, you have a retail space. If you're a restaurant, you have to have a location, things like that. You may not have that if you're an online business or sell via the internet or something. So these are your hard costs listed here. So total expenses is on this line, and then your net income before tax, and then after paying income tax. So down here, we show, again, those same profit centers that we talked about on the revenue forecasts page, the total numbers here, and then after you deduce everything, what the profit is at the very end of the day. So that number is down here. So not only is it important to look at your gross profit, okay, great, I'm making a whole lot of sales here, I'm hitting my goals, I'm making sure that, my inventory is moving, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the way you're running your business, which is shown down here, is it keeping up? Is it in good balance and good health with each other? Because this bottom line number is actually going to show what your profit is. And then we will look at cash flow projections. So a little bit different way to view your business, whereas with profit and loss, you're looking at monthly and year by year, whether you're making money or losing money. This is whether you are functioning in your business every day, kind of, are you able to pay for the goods that you need? Are you able to pay the bills that you need to pay? When are people paying you? And so you need to always make sure that you have a flow of money in the bank at all times to cover your expenses and take on the sales that you've made. So sales will be listed here. And then, all the cash that you've received, and then all the cash that you've paid out. And so then down here in the balance, it'll make sure that your business cash flows is what we call it. Because if you have some months of time where you aren't getting paid for the services you've already done or the products you've already sold, and you need to pay bills in order to keep your business running, but you don't have the funds to do so, then you're in a pinch. So always making sure you have a healthy cash flow is going to determine the health of your business as well. And then balance sheet projections. So in a balance sheet, it is your total assets, everything you own, all the inventory you have on hand, if you own your building, if you own the furniture or cars or equipment that you use to run your business, all of those things listed, and then minus the liabilities. So inventory would be a liability, debt would be a liability, anything else that's going out of your business. And this is kind of like a quick snapshot at any point in time of your business. So it will change, from day to day, month to month, depending on what's it currently, within your business, what you own, what you've sold, what you've purchased to sell, et cetera, et cetera. So this will show kind of like a rough estimate of your worth, of your value, but it doesn't give you a good kind of day-to-day of your sales. You always want it to balance out equally. So we've got all of your cash and assets up here, total assets 11,000. And then we're going to total up the liabilities down here, 11,000. So, sorry, down here, 11,000, to make sure that everything balances out equally. Break-even analysis is a great piece of information to have about your business. When you are talking about all those expenses you have, those fixed costs, and you want to know if your business will make it, you will want to have a break-even analysis of all the costs that you have and kind of like the very base level of sales that you'll have to make in order for your business to just break even or then make any profit. And so we kind of help you track and trend that in the beginning so that you're really aware of it as you start out, because you're going to want to be able to make some quick changes if you need to. Change expenses, change pricing structure, change labor structure, change your hours. There's lots of ways to work around this if you have this information and if you can use it to your benefit. And all of these pieces of financial statements can be used to your benefit in order to help your business succeed. So this is an example of the break-even analysis. So let's see, on this one, based on expenses, the break-even point is 40,846. And then based on cash flow, because things vary from time to time, is 46,068. And that takes into account salary, rent, debt, utilities, all the cost of sales, and then comes down and says, okay, if you want to be able to pay all these bills and make all of these sales, this is how much money you have to make at the end of the day. I'm gonna just switch my screen quickly. So I know we talked a whole lot about numbers and financial statements and projections. But you may be wondering, well, how in the world do I get these numbers? How would I know how much sales I have? How would I know, my cost of goods sold? How would I know the seasonality of my business? So critical assumptions is what we use to inform us when we make these financial projections for you. And we'll work together. You are the expert at your business. So there's lots of pieces of the business that you're going to really inherently know. And so that's how we justify these numbers. For example, a restaurant. If you know that, okay, normally people spend about $45 at my restaurant, and usually I have between 30 and 40 people in a lunch or dinner shift. So if you can do the math of, 40 guests times $45 per person, you're going to come to some sense of where your numbers lie. And then we're going to use that to expand from there. Details on the seasonality of your business. So if you're a retail shop, like your sales are probably going to go up during the holidays and then maybe go down a little bit January, February, March, and then folks come back in again in the warmer months. Any other supporting details, like do you have other streams coming in? If you're a salon, are you going to also rent another chair to someone else who's then paying you for that space? And so that's another form of income coming into you. And then, like, why is your business where it is financially right now? What are the circumstances that have caused you to either be successful or fall behind? And so all of these are critical assumptions that we use and work together with you to find out, to inform your financial projections. Nope. Supporting documents. These are other kind of useful tools that can help. Sorry. Here's being a little bit slow today. Help inform bankers about, the success of your business, especially if you're a new startup business. Letters of intent. So say you are a manufacturing company, and so you can get a letter of intent from a customer company that says, yes, if this company goes into business, we are purchasing X number of dollars from them of their product every month or every year. Customer contracts, the same thing. I already, if you have some type of service-based business, then you can set up contracts ahead of time and say, I already have 10 customers on my load going into business. So I am on a good trajectory upwards for my business trends. A draft lease, rent is a really large expense in your business if you have to have a brick and mortar space. So if you can have the solid numbers on that and the terms of the lease already drafted for a bank to look at as well, that's very helpful. Banks will also ask for personal financial statements. And so that's kind of like your own, families and personal individual financial statements, debt to income ratio. They will assess all of that before lending money. They will look at your resume. Again, the experience in your field of business is going to be very important. They may say, hey, you have a great business plan, but you need about like 2 more years of work in this industry before you're ready to go. And then 3 years of tax returns, because they'll look back at that financial history as well. Let's see. That draws to the end of our presentation today, and you may have many questions because that was a very speedy overview of building your business plan. So you're welcome to submit questions in the chat, and we can go over, those financial plans or back up to the different templates, whatever you're curious about. And if you think, oh, how in the world am I going to do this? Don't worry, we're here for you. I'll put my email and link to my calendar in the chat as well. But here's my contact information if you would like to meet some more one-on-one with me.
Claire, talk a little bit about a SWOT analysis. I mean, a lot of times that can be included in a business plan.
Mhm.
And talk a little bit about how that works and why it's important.
So the SWOT analysis, you kind of just graph out like your strengths, your weaknesses, other competitors, and kind of you find your blind spots that way, and you use it to improve your business, use it to grow from, but being aware of your pitfalls and being aware of the competition is really important, because you can be gung-ho about your idea and about your business, but if you're not aware of the other competition out there, then it's not gonna.
So what you're saying is you can do like a SWOT analysis on yourself, and then you can do that on your competitors as well, to help
Yes.
you look for weaknesses or other things that you can exploit against
Yes, exactly. You can, draw from their weaknesses and say, okay, well, we're going to build this program into our business. We're going to build this service into our business because it seems like that's what folks are really needing or looking for. That isn't happening right now.
So, you mentioned early on about about the importance of related work experience, when you're putting together a business plan and trying to find funding and stuff. Can you think of some ways that let's say you don't have any, but this is something you're passionate about, that you're moving away from your past? I mean, how would you kind of mitigate that, do you think?
One way would be to create a team that has some really focused work in the field. If you're a great leader, or you like the business entrepreneurial side of things, but you maybe are not a chef or something, then you're going to want to partner yourself with another balance there. So I feel like there's always two sides to owning a business. There's the expert in the field, and then there's the expert in the business. And so you have to either have both skills or partner yourself with someone that has other qualities that complement yours.
So critical assumptions. Can you talk a little bit more about how you derive numbers in a startup, especially if since you don't have any historical data, how would you derive them?
Cool. We look a lot at industry standards as far as pricing, and kind of like with this retail shop, we looked up the average sales for a retail shop in the Southeast per year, and then kind of drew from there and looked at her prices individually, per item or per piece, and kind of put those together. And then we kind of have a more solid start to a critical assumption on her pricing and what her overall sales would be possibly in a year. And there's a range, and then you come to kind of a middle point from there.
A lot of folks are asking about the templates we looked at, and I'll just say that these are some complicated spreadsheets that we use, and we've had training on and stuff. So it's not really be kind of hard for us just to hand that to you and then say good luck. We do have one though that's fairly simple to use, which we'll be happy to send you, and then it's a great place to start because you can put your numbers in and do some analysis. And then the templates that we've looked at here are really designed for bank use. We can help you transfer that over into the templates that we have, and then before you go to a bank and make a loan. So we'll do that for you today. Send that stuff out. Let's see. Bejoy says, what is a good resource to do research in the healthcare space? What do you think, Claire?
Yeah, we've got access to like some large market research on different industries. So if you want to set up a call with me, I'm happy to do some back end searching for you. And then just kind of like general, you want to look at statistics within your region. You want to look at within healthcare is a pretty wide field. So specific to the exact type of care that you're wanting to offer.
So Jenny says, I'm sure it varies, but how long does it take usually between having all your materials ready and getting a loan approved? Is it quicker if you're not asking for a large amount?
Great question. So it depends on a couple things. So larger amounts tend to take longer because there is a whole lot of information that you have to be ready to present. So once you have all the material together, I mean, it's a long process. I would say 3 months or so, Dave. What do you think? What do you see?
Yeah, these days, I think it's taking a little bit longer because, with the interest rates going up and there's a lot of uncertainty, so banks are taking a little bit more time. But I think that is another great point that you brought out earlier about having all the supporting documents, because when you go and make application, you want to make sure that you have everything that a lender or a funder will ask for, so they don't have to ask for anything. So if they say, oh, we need your personal financial statement, you don't have it, well, then that takes more time because they have to wait. And what they'll end up doing is they'll start working on somebody else's loan and you move to the bottom of the pile.
Mhm.
So you want to go in there and have everything that they'll want or even ask for. So try to think of questions that they'll ask and have those answered before you even show up to talk to them.
And then Jenny, your question about, is it quicker if you're not asking for a large amount? It can be quicker. There's some, micro loans in the area. We work with lots of local lenders that provide smaller amounts, and those can go through quickly. They can, a month, maybe.
Let's see. Okay. So what would you say, Claire, if a couple of folks are looking to get funding for their business, but maybe their credit is not the best?
Yeah. Banks will look at your personal credit, even if you're registered as an LLC separately from your individual finances. They look at personal credit to see if they feel safe lending you money and having repayment. If you need to work on your credit, we can lead you to some resources in the community. We work with the Louisville Urban League, which has a credit specialist on staff. And then there's some other resources and kind of workshops similar to this that are in the community. Community Ventures, I believe, does a workshop, and it might be over a few weeks time for credit repair. But we will give you as many resources as we can, and then work with you alongside you through that time to get to a point when you are ready to go forward to a lender.
Yeah, that's a great point, Claire, because you can pull your credit for free. Well, there's a lot of free resources to do that. So as Claire said, it's important to know what you're facing before you actually go and try to find money. So check, pull your credit and see what's on there. And if there's some things that are not correct them. If there's some issues that can be explained, then, all the better. If you just need to, to work on your credit, well, then you know what to do. But the main thing is don't show up and try to hide anything, be very honest. No surprises when lenders are involved. So, but be prepared before you actually make any application.
Yes.
So in the chat, Janet just put up a great resource with Catherine Skaggs at the business at the Free Public Library. She'll be joining us here soon in September, where we'll have her kind of walk through some of the resources the library have as far as pulling market data and doing some of that industry analysis that you talked about earlier, Claire. So make sure you join us for that. And if you have a library card, you can pull a lot of this information for free just online. You can go to their website and access a few databases that they have that we don't even have. So, I think that's it, Claire. What else do you want? To add anything else on here, Claire? What else do we miss?
I think I see one more question. Is it still a good idea to have these documents if you aren't seeking a loan? So if you are a business owner or plan to open a business, going through those templates of the business plan are really necessary because they will inform your decisions. They will inform how you organize your business. They will inform how you run your business. And to keep going over them, I think that's a really important point to drive home, is that you will change, you will learn from your business and over time. And so you should continue working on your business in a sense, using these business plan templates. So those first four that I talked about in the beginning, the Canvas model, the one-page business plan, the pitch deck, and then the larger traditional business plan template can all help you in different forms and different ways. So yes, I would definitely recommend doing that.
Yeah, I saw a study that the SBA conducted a while back about the business owners that opened their business with a business plan and one without, and the ones that spent a lot of time planning, they were generally far more successful and profitable than the ones that were just kind of shooting from the hip. And I think that goes a lot, that shows a lot that just the process of planning is more important than the business plan itself.
Yes.
Thinking through these things, trying to anticipate problems before they happen, and understanding what you need and the resources you need as opposed to just doing the best you can.
Correct.
It reminds me when I remodeled my kitchen, I just kind of did it on the fly. I think it cost 3 times as much as it would have if I had a plan and would have stuck with it,
It's a bummer after the fact.
Yeah.
With all the more detailed financial plans, Jenny, no, you don't need to make those necessarily if you're not going forward to a lender, but it is important to be aware of your financial status with like the 3 main financial statements, income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow, because that is the life of your business, and that is going to inform every decision that you make. So those are our financial statements that you should look at weekly, monthly, to just have a really keen eye on everything that's going on within your business.
So yeah,
I'm going to quickly just enter my email and calendar link into the chat.
Yep.
Let me get my calendar link. 1 second.
Yeah, you can also go to our website, louisvillesmallbusiness.com, and click on the Coach Connect button on the top. You'll see all of us there. You can just click on our scheduling link. You can see our calendars and pick a time to meet with us. Most of us are still doing Zoom sessions, so you don't have to travel anywhere to meet us. Just get online and chit chat and do what we can to help you. We really enjoy working with everyone, and it's our passion and mission to help small business owners in Louisville grow their businesses.
Thanks, Dave.
LouisvilleSmallBusiness.com, Kiana. LouisvilleSmallBusiness.com.
We'll include all of that in the follow-up email with the recording and Claire's documents and that sort of thing. So we'll have all that for you.
Okay, great. Claire, thank you so much. That was spectacular as always.
All right. Thank you all. Thanks for joining, and let us know if we can help in any way further.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you on the next Toolkit Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.